Good morning, students. Open your English Behive book. So, today we will start the explanation of our chapter number 2, The Sound of Music. Part 2, The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Before reading our chapter, we would discuss some difficult words we will come across during this page. First, shrill means very sharp. Second, unpleasant, something that you dislike. Third, generic name, a name given to a class or group as a whole. Fourth, reeded, wind instruments which have reeds like the flute, the clarinet, etc. Fifth, revived, brought back to life. Sixth, tonal quality means the sound. Seventh, auspicious means something which promises to bring good fortune. Eighth, indispensable, without which a piece of work cannot be done. Ninth, ensemble, instruments considered as a group. 10th, Naubat. Naubat means traditional. 11th, paternal ancestors means ancestors of the father. Let's start the explanation of our chapter, The Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. You will probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro, playing this instrument. This is the picture of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So, the writer of this chapter tells us that Shehnai is played at wedding functions or any auspicious occasion, and so whenever you think of the Shehnai, you are reminded of a wedding because probably most of us must have heard the Shehnai being played at a wedding function. And the next thing when you think about the Shehnai is Ustad Bismillah Khan because he was the maestro in Shehnai. He was a legendary Shehnai player. Now we will begin reading our chapter. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Now, pungi was a predecessor of the Shehnai. Now, when the Mughals ruled India, they ruled before the Britishers came to India. There was a very famous Mughal ruler, Aurangzeb. He banned means he prohibited. He did not allow that this musical instrument, pungi, be played in his royal residence. Why did he ban this pungi? Because it had a shrill. Shrill means very sharp and unpleasant sound. Unpleasant means that is something that you dislike. So, Aurangzeb banned the playing of the pungi in his royal residence because its sound was not pleasant. He disliked the sound of the pungi. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. So here generic name means a name given to a class or group as a whole, and reeded means wind instruments which have reeds like the flute, the clarinet, etc. Pungi was a generic name, so given to any reeded noisemaker. So any instrument which was made with a reed, like we have flutes, we have clarinets, they all were classified as pungi. So pungi was a very broad term. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Revived means brought back to life. As Aurangzeb has banned all these reeded noisemakers, he had banned Pungi in his royal residence. No one thought that one day such noisemakers, such instruments which make unpleasant sound, would be brought back into the trend. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Tonal quality means the sound. Now, as the pungi had an unpleasant sound, there was a barber who belonged to a family of professional musicians. Now, he wanted to play the pungi, but he knew that the sound produced by the pungi was unpleasant, and so he decided to improve the sound. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. Now, what did this barber did? He took a pipe which was a hollow stem. Hollow means it was empty from inside, and the pipe was longer and broader than the pungi. And then what he did? He made 7 holes on the body of that pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. Now, what did the barber did? He prepared this pipe and he made 7 holes on it. Then he blew air in it and he closed and opened different holes of this pipe. And what did he find out? That soft and melodious sounds were produced. Now, he did like this. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. Shehnai is longer and broader than this pungi and there are holes on it. You blow air from this side and close and open some of the holes and melodious and soft sounds are produced. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. Now, the royal court had thought that this instrument is different from the pungi and it should have a new name also. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a Nai barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai. Now, there was a story behind the name given to this instrument, and the story is that this instrument was played for the first time in the royal residence of the Shah. Shah was a name given to king, and as the Nai, that is, barber, had played this instrument for the first time, they called it as Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means something which promises to bring good fortune. So, Shehnai was started playing on good occasions, and for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Indispensable means without which a piece of work cannot be done, something which is very necessary. Shehnai being played at many temples and many weddings also. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Ensemble means things considered as a group. So, the Shehnai was considered to be a part of Naubat. Naubat is an Urdu word which means traditional ensemble. traditional group of 9 musical instruments. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now, the Shehnai was played at King's Court and it was played in temples and weddings. But how did it reach the stage? That means people gave performances with the Shehnai. It was due to Ustad Bismillah Khan ji, who is a legendary Shehnai player, and people wanted to hear and play the Shehnai. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. Now, from here, we start reading the story of Bismillah Khan when he was 5 years old. He lived in the ancient, that means the old estate, and the name of the estate, it was Dumrao, and it is in Bihar state. And when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he used to play Gilli Danda. It is an old sport quite similar to cricket. You can say it's different from cricket in some ways. So, this kind of a game he used to play when he was 5 years old. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So, when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he would go to the Bihariji temple. Although Bismillah Khan was a Muslim, he would go to the temple and he would sing the song in Bhojpuri language, Chaita. The name of the song was Chaita, and when he would finish reciting the song, he would get a big laddu as a reward. And the weight of that laddu was 1.25 kg, and this was a prize given to Bismillah Khan by the local Maharaja for singing the song. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. So, the writer says that this incident, when he was 5 years old, he would get this laddu as a reward, and after 80 years, Bismillah Khan earned the highest civilian award of India, that is the Bharat Ratna. So, this is the distance that he has travelled in his life. At 5 years of age, he was used to get a 1.25 kg laddu as a reward. He achieved the highest civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna award.